Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to Network Bro. He's the first one to post. I know he's a busy guy. Everybody go check him out. Uh, Definitely giving out that great Cisco and networking knowledge. Man, I'm trying to get it together today on Sunday. So there's the thumbnail. We're going to talk a little bit about Jeff Bezos. Um, I guess I just assumed everybody knew what Jeff Bezos was doing. So we'll talk about it. Once again, you see the thumbnail. You see it. Let's get it. Those are Amazon's divisions, and over here he has a investment arm. What they're on over there. So maybe I need to make that a little bigger. Once again, you know how we do it. If you got any cybersecurity questions, just drop them in the box and we'll get to them. Just check on my phone and make sure it's going to spin up. Make sure I'm not having any technical difficulties. I think I'm good. I'm waiting for it to spin up. I think it's close. Once again, happy Sunday. We in May now. Years flying by. Just trying to make some moves. Okay, there we go. So I see my phone's doing its thing. Once again, if you got any cybersecurity questions, just drop them in the box. And like I said, I'm gonna get started. What's up, network, bro? How you doing, man? Glad you could join. Yeah, Jeff Bezos, I think the third richest man. He got a lot of stuff, man. How you doing tonight? Hit me with a one if you can hear me. I think I'm good. Let's see. It says no data, but we'll see. Checking on my stream settings. There it goes. Analytics. How you doing today, man? I appreciate it. Whew, man, I see you've been putting in work, man. I always love your stream, working on my networking skills. So, just gonna talk a little bit about Jeff Bezos. Man, he owns probably 50 companies. So, you can see the little thumbnail. I got a bigger slide, but of course, Amazon. You got Alexis, Living Social, Zappos with shoes he bought. He bought Whole Foods, which I enjoy. To become Twitch, he owns Twitch, right? So that's the gaming part, similar to YouTube. His Bezos Expedition is kind of his investment arm. He bought Washington Post, the newspaper. I mean, he spent a lot of money for that. I think he just wanted to say. But they on Workday. He owned a shitload of Twitter shares that Elon Musk just bought. He got GRAILs, Rethink Robotics, and Amazon Robotics is huge. Trying to get that to switch over their warehouse. So we about to touch all of that real quick. Jeff Bezos is doing it big. I wonder if I was the third richest person, would I work? I don't know, but let's get it. Jeff Bezos' empire. Then I dig into like 4 or 5 of his businesses from a technology standpoint that I really like, or one of my kind of dislike from a cybersecurity perspective. We'll jump into that. Once again, got any cybersecurity questions, just jump them in the chat. Let me see. Let me get my little slideshow together. As an ex-professor, I'm all about PowerPoint. So let's get that together. So this is part of Jeff Bezos' I would call it empire at the top. I should have made that a little bigger. Let's see. Make it a little bigger. Zoom in. I want to zoom in. I guess I could zoom into that. Amazon, Zappos, Elemento, Square, Alexis is huge. Alexis is controlling, the internet at home, voice recognition. You can hook, and we're gonna dig in that. You can hook Alexis up to your Ring. You can have it open up your door, right? So it's a ton of good thing. Goodreads is an internet auction site that it sends businesses to Amazon. So once again, he has a ton of stuff. He bought audio books. Amazon Robotics, they bought a robotics company called Kiva a couple years ago. We're going to dig into that. They actually have robots picking packages for it and bringing it to the packing station, right? So I think they're redoing warehousing from that fabric, root, uh, digital processing is cameras, of course, Twitch, Hill Pack is healthcare, Ring security. They bought IMDb movie database. So I mean, Jeff Bezos is in a lot of things, right? So I think down here too, we're going to talk about his Blue Origin. He's in aerospace, got personal investments. We're going to talk a little bit about those. His holding Nash bought Washington Post Media, right, for like $300 million for a newspaper, right? But I think he really wanted to save it. So those are just some of the high level Jeff Bezos' businesses, right, from his empire. Once again, a bigger shot of what we just kind of looked at him and more of the companies he's just showing. So once again, you got Alexa, Social, Whole Food, Twitch, Zappos Shoes. I didn't know he had part of Stack Overflow. He's got Stack Overflow. He's got a lot of Workday. He doesn't own them right outright, but he has large ownership shares, and he has to report them. Twitter, Basecamp. Like I said, I didn't know he owned Stack Overflow, and it's gonna be interesting to see what his take is on Twitter. Elon Musk bought it for $52 a share, and we'll get into it. Elon was in one of the initial investments of Twitter. So Forbes got a real-time billionaire list. So on the top is Elon Musk at 246. The Bernard Alt family, I think they're from France, at 158. The number three right there is Jeff Bezos, $150 billion. His biggest, of course, is Amazon, and we just looked at some of his holdings, right? So $150 billion, right? So we're just going to kind of jump into some of those businesses, like I said, from a technology standpoint, right? I'm cybersecurity, and I love technology, so it's just interesting that between him and Elon Musk, I don't think people really understand what the stuff they quote. My question is how much ownership of these businesses? I'm leaving the relationships out of there, network, bro. But I feel you. I think he cashed out with some, like you said, some ownership and some stocks, because they came to some agreement. She could have made him sell some of his shares of Amazon, but that would have hurt his investment. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that tech was. But you got to be careful out there. So once again, this shows you some of the ownership in dollars. Whole Food was 13.7. Zappos 1.2. I think those are billion. Twitch was, I think, 900 million. Kiva Robots, Elemental Audio, Alexa. Right, he bought Alexa, then integrated that into IMDb and Washington Post. Right, so he spent 250 million for Washington Post. He spent $13.7 billion for Whole Foods. Right, so I didn't really dive into. So let's talk about Whole Food. Whole Food actually has distribution centers in high wealth areas in a lot of states, right? So here, like if I order something from Amazon, they actually have lockers in Whole Foods. So if I didn't want to deliver to my house or I thought somebody was stealing, Whole Food, they put it in these lockers that's owned by Amazon. Then they give me a code on Amazon. I can go in with my key, right, and put it in there and get in there. So yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was an acquisition, and he folded it into Amazon. A lot of stuff, I don't think he created it. He sees them at a certain level, and he buys them. So from here, it shows it as an acquisition. Because I know he bought Whole Foods. I I know he bought Zappo, and I know he bought Twitch. Like I said, I was a little surprised. I thought they created Alexa, but no, he spent looked like just 250 million on that network, bro. That was pocket change, man. He just got his sock, got the 250 million for Alexa. So those are the things he acquired that's kind of out there. So, but once again, for Whole Food, they want you to be able to deliver stuff within 4 hours. So part of that is getting distribution centers inside local places, right? So they can deliver stuff from Whole Food to your house if you want to get food. But to us, I think they're going to use that as distribution location, right? They're going to have back stores, so you deliver stuff there and they're delivered from there to your house, right? Because it's where a lot of my students deliver Amazon just in their regular car, right? So they go and they get so many packages that's in their neighborhood, right? So they deliver to neighborhoods in their regular car, right? Amazon does have that Amazon distribution van. You can buy a franchise in it, right, to deliver, but they still have a lot of just regular people delivering in their car. What's up, Anders Tech 79? Glad you could join it. But yeah, so this once again part of his I call it his empire, right? He was the third richest person on there. Blue Origin, just like Musk, he's into space. Those are some of his rockets he's building. I think he's going to try to get into that Mars cohabitation. We need to make sure the human race survives. But these are some of the rockets that they're built. Of course, he's got the reusable engine, the New Glenn Land booster, right? So the rocket comes down and he can reuse those rockets, right? And a lot of times too, when you do that, a lot of people think is a vanity. But when we went to the moon, right, we got a lot of inventions off of it. One of them I know was the microwave. There's a lot of stuff that comes out of stuff when you try to go, to the moon or to Mars now, right? So just real quick, Bezos Expedition, which is managed by Bezos Venture Capital. Those investments, they included Twitter, Workday, Business Insider, and Stack Overflow. Once again, I didn't know he was bought into Stack Overflow, right? He doesn't own outright. I think he has investment in there. Jeff Bezos invested $15 million in Twitter in 2008. It went public in 2013, and of course, Elon Musk just bought it out. Where he's currently buying it out. And I think he spent $53, let's say 50 plus per share. It'll be interesting. I couldn't find out how many shares Elon Musk owns. So if he owns 500,000 shares at $50 a share, right? Is that going to vault him to number 2, right? So he's been invested for a long time. We talked about Whole Food. It purchased the high-end grocery store in 2017. It's fully integrated with Prime membership when you go grocery shopping. He bought Zappos in 2009 for $940 million in stock and cash deal. He bought Twitch in 2014 as Amazon foray into live streaming. He bought Ring, the smart doorbell, in 2018 for a smooth $1 billion, right? And he bought Audible service for books in 2008 for $300 million, right? So he's been investing. He owns a lot of stuff, right? He founded Blue Origin in 2000. It's much like, Elon Musk, SpaceX. GRAIL is a cancer detection company. He's also in healthcare in pursuit of innovation of solving medicine's most important challenges. So he bought a healthcare company called GRAIL. So once again, you need a lot of computer power to solve those type of cancer and certain diseases. So I think he uses his Amazon computer power, right? And you combine that, we talked about that, with artificial intelligence and machine learning, right? To detect cancer, to detect screening, right? All that's part of computer power and how to make it work. So he bought digital photography in 1998. We talked about IMDb. Amazon Robotics, he formerly bought was Kiva. It was a company that manufactured mobile robotics fulfillment center. They changed the name to Amazon Inventory Management System. And General Fusion landed $130 million from Bezos for energy, right? He's trying to create cold fusion. He put $130 million in that, right? So he controls the company that does that. So I thought all those was interesting, and just gonna drill into a few. We know the big money maker, right? It's AWS, Amazon Web Service, right? A lot of times people don't realize Amazon was losing money for 10 years off and on before they created Amazon Web Service, right? And we all know what it is. You get EC2, S3. It's having computer power like electricity on demand, right, at your fingertips. He was surprised he got I think a 12-year head start. Uh, they were selling books and goods, and for Christmas they had all this extra computer power, so they decided to create a service out of it and rent it out to small and medium-sized businesses. Little did they know that that was going to be the big money maker, right? They were just doing it because they had excess computer power and they thought it could sell, right? So 2021 annual revenue for Amazon Web Service from 2013 to 2021. So you see it there. These are in millions, right? So that's 3 billion. 2013, 2015 was the 8, 2019 was 35, 2021 it made $62 billion, right? So everybody's trying to get on that bandwagon. They are the 800-pound gorilla. With my oh yeah, I'm actually studying for my test right now. Anderson Tech 79. I'm on the grind. I'm in my 50s. That's gonna be the last cert I get. So yeah, I'm studying for the first one, the small one, which is the practitioner. Then hopefully in June I'm gonna take the associate architect. So now we're all trying to get them certs. So now you're right, Anders. I do a lot of insurance and I do a lot of security reviews in real life. I probably would say 70% of my security reviews now are probably in AWS. Right, I'm helping a couple young Black entrepreneurs get into the cloud. They're creating some nice, innovative products. So from a security perspective, I'm just making sure they're doing the right thing. They have the policies and procedure. When you're trying to get government and Fed work, you got to have your policies and procedures, your system security plan, all that good stuff. But AWS is the 800-pound gorilla. I see a lot of vendors that I do security review on now. Most of them are in AWS, right? But once again, 2021, AWS making 62 million plus, right? So we're going to jump in on the Kiva, aka Amazon robots. When you're changing the way warehousing is working, right? How do you pack and pick products in a warehouse, right? This is a system, because all that's going to be automated in the future, like George Jetson. I think they're slowly getting there, right? So if you look like Kiva robots, it's a different prospects, right? They bring the shelves to the packers, right? So you come and you load these up at night, and you don't put everything on the shelves. Amazon knows what you usually order together, right? If you order a toothbrush, you're gonna have toothpaste. You're gonna have a water pick, right? So they put certain things that get ordered together on the shelves, right? So it's not one thing. So when you order something, when this comes to the packer, probably 60% of everything is going to be on the shelf that comes, right? Because it knows what you usually order together, or what statistically people usually order together, right? We're going to look at a short video of that. So got the robotic arm, right? The cool thing before we looked at it is if you go out to their website, they had jobs out there. They were partnering with robots. They had a technical manager, Canvas Robotics AI. They had a senior business intelligence and an engineer. They had a software developer engineer for Robotics AI, right? So they showed you they had 138 jobs that they were looking to fill for that robotics. So I thought that was interesting, right? So let's look at this. I think I said it short video. Hopefully I don't get flagged for it. Let's make it a little bigger. Take out my headset.
Coming take over doesn't even rank in the top 10. It distracts attention from the more urgent things, like, for example, what's going to happen to jobs.
For a glimpse into the future, consider one of the largest companies on the planet, Amazon.
So as you see, the shelves are moving towards the people, right? So you pack them, and look how densely packed they are, right? So now I don't need a ton of pickers, right? I done took them out the game. I got packers bringing it to I got those bringing it to the packers, so they have to just fill the boxes, right? So this is the future of warehousing. So I believe in the next 10 years, kind of like when we see cashiers are going out with self-scan, you're not going to need a lot of people into a warehouse, right? Well, I ain't going to say you're going to still need a lot because they move a lot of stuff, but I think you're going to need probably half the people you would have used in the future, what that look like, right?
It has tremendous scale. We have fulfillment centers that are as large as 1.25 million square feet. That's like 23 football fields. And in it, we'll have just millions of products.
To deal with that scale, Amazon has built an army of robots.
Like a marching.
So one of their warehouses is the size of 23 football fields, right? That is hard to comprehend, right? But that's how much stuff they're moving, right? And a lot of people don't realize is I don't Google stuff for, if I'm gonna buy stuff, I go straight to Amazon. I got Amazon Prime, right? And that's how I'm gonna do it. That's why AWS going as long. Yeah, I don't think people realize, and I'm gonna talk about that in another stream. People don't realize in the next 20 years, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics are going to take out 30 million jobs easy, right? So,
an army of ants that can constantly change its goals based on the situation at hand, right? So our robotics are very adaptive and reactive in order to extend human capabilities to allow for more efficiencies within our own buildings.
And there's plenty more where those came from. Every day, this facility in Boston graduates a new batch of machines.
All of the robots that you see that are moving the pods have been built right here in Boston. I call it the nursery, where the robots are born. They'll be built. They'll take their first breath of air.
And once again, shout out to Network Bros. Amazon bought this company called Kiva, and they just in-housed it and just start building robots off of it, right? And just start making it better, right? And you got to think they have a new batch that they just designed. It's 50% less parts, 50% lighter. And I guess it's supposed to be 500% stronger of the stuff it can lift, right? So, like Internet Tech said, that's wild how automation is taking over, right? So that's it. It's always automation, right? Moore's law. It's going to get quicker, better, quicker, right?
They'll do their own diagnostics. Once they're good, then they'll line up for robot graduation, and then they will swing their tassels to the appropriate side, drive themselves right onto a pallet, and go directly to a fulfillment center.
To some of us, this moment belies a dark sign of what's to come, a future that doesn't need us, one where all jobs, not just cab drivers and truckers, are taken by machines. But Amazon's chief roboticist doesn't see it that way.
The fact is really plain and simple. The more robots we add to our fulfillment centers, the more jobs we're creating. The robots do not build themselves. Humans design them, humans build them, humans deploy them, humans support them, and then humans, most importantly, interact with the robots. When you look at that, this enables growth, and growth does enable jobs.
Certainly, history would seem to bear him out. Since the Industrial Revolution, new technologies, while displacing some jobs, have created new ones. While this is the predominant view in the AI community, some think it ignores the reality of today's world.
There's a long history of technology creators assuming that only good things would happen with their baby when it went out into the world. Even if there are some new jobs created somewhere, the vast majority of people are not easily going to be able to shift into them. That truck driver who loses their job to a driverless truck isn't going to easily become an app developer out in Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I agree with that guy. You just don't easily switch. Like when your warehouse job is, you're not going to become, like you said, an app developer, right? And I agree with you. I think there'd be jobs created, but the people that usually get displaced or basically bluntly fired from technology, they usually don't get the next which one. I did a video on that on iRobot from a cybersecurity perspective. You're right. As long as we don't have another Skynet's coming. Skynet's coming. We'll talk about that one later, though. But once again, on that, like you said, though, it's creative destruction, right? So all those picker and packers gonna lose their jobs. And two is, it's usually when you take over the kind of the bottom work with the manual labor and you do it with technology, there's usually hundreds of people that get fired from the manual labor, and there's usually probably 20% of the jobs that get created from a technology standpoint or other standpoint. But once again, I just want to touch on the robotics of Amazon, right? They bought Kiva and they took it over. What's up, NC Worker? I'm glad you could make it. So I don't think people realize, and I'm in Indiana. There's probably 6 fulfillment centers here. There's one here, and a quarter of the shop, they said, is Amazon robots. And they said it's scary because they're moving stuff around. And that section, of course, uses way less people than the rest of the fulfillment center, right? So they're shaking the bugs out. You see them testing them, graduating them, and getting them ready to do their job, right? So once again, he has his company, Blue Origin, kind of like Elon Musk. They're going to put low orbit satellites in the atmosphere so you can have communications, right? So you can do telecommunications, a la Ukraine. A lot of people probably didn't know this. Russia bombed their infrastructure. They actually went out and tweeted Elon Musk, and he let them use his Starlink, right, for communications for their whole country, right? So this is going to be his version of Starlink with low orbiting satellites that you can use. So he's got like 4 positions. Low orbit satellite, designed to use cases and ideas before a possible orbit reef, reducing costs and complex for customers, will provide end-to-end services, standard interface, technical support, space flights, payloads, right? So all of that. Of course, they want to do commercial jets. So if you super rich like Network Bruh, you can go up into space, commercially develop and own, operator. Orbital opens doors to new market and catalyst for vibrant space ecosystem. It provides an address on orbit for use, lease, or ownership that is international and open to all. Right, so you can get in a spaceship, go up to their reef, which is their space station state, and come back down to orbit, right? I have no desire to do that for some reason, right? So, but once again, Jeff Bezos doing stuff. Next generation space technology. Research facilities are equipped to accelerate future discoveries, development of new industries, seamless logistics, advanced robotics, single-person spacecraft to make operation and excursion routine, Dream Chaser space plan, Starliner spacecraft, New Glenn system provide backbone of cost-effective transportation. Right? So a lot of people don't realize what people are doing, which is, I don't know, kind of scary. I've been watching too many sci-fi movies. It was comets come through close to Earth, right? You can actually use this or something to actually drill the comet, get minerals out the comet, right, and bring it back to Earth, right? So there's going to be new compounds that's never been seen, new materials that you can make, right? Then also on the sci-fi, right, we bring the organism off the comet, right, back to it. Right. So once again, just talking about his orbit. Then you have reusable engines. Blue Origin's engines are powering the next generation of rocket, commercial, civil, national security, and human space flight. Right. So once again, just technology using in space, and all that stuff is done by a ton of computer power. So the low Earth orbit satellites. Its project is called Cooper. It's initiative to launch a constellation of low Earth orbit satellites that provide low latency, high speed broadband connectivity to unserved and underserved communities around the world. If you're interested in opportunities, teams, you don't see a position line, you can contact them. But once again, low orbiting satellites for communication. NATO and other nations forces will finally be able to converge the most advanced military and secure commercial satellites, ensuring total mission assurance around the world. So some of these communications, a la Ukraine, right? It's going to be military. In the sky, aircraft pilots will be able to connect to optimal satellites for navigation and ground communications, while passengers in the cabins can connect entirely to separate satellites in different orbits to access live communications, super fast broadband, and enhanced entertainment options with streaming and gaming. On the ground, the land transporter section will achieve ubiquitous and super fast, always on internet, allowing the people to work if they were in the office, if they were riding on the transit or bus, or while remote locations can finally access high-speed broadband. Sea ships can be tracked across oceans, accelerating digital transformation, shipping, super fast experience for cruise ship passengers, and many other things. One thing I think they're going to try to sell us for is autonomous vehicles and autonomous communications, right? With 5G, right, there's going to be some places where there's not going to be a 5G pole or 5G atmosphere, right? So between him and Elon Musk, the Earth is going to be covered with low orbiting satellites that can do that communication and can run those autonomous vehicles. Right? And the interesting to that is AWS is always trying to sell a service. So a lot of people don't realize one of the AWS services you can get is AWS has a ground station that you can rent for talking to satellites. You can do onboard and scheduling. You can register an onboard satellite and identify contact windows and schedule a satellite contact. You can do command and control downlink communications using a ground station during scheduled times. You can receive data and receive satellite data into your Amazon VPC and process data in Amazon Cloud using Amazon Global Infrastructure. So part of that infrastructure will be using those satellites, right? So if you got a customer around the world and part of the internet's down or if they have undersea cables, that's not working right, you can go up and use, I believe, be able to use these satellites to receive and cover information, right? And that's the future. And that's one thing I like about him and Musk. Some of this stuff is going to fail. Some of the stuff's not going to work, right? But they're pushing the future forward by those type of communications. So if you didn't know, on Amazon, you can actually rent a ground station and communicate to satellites, right? You can use Kinesis as basically their streaming service to collect data, and you can collect data from a satellite and actually put it in there. I appreciate that, Black Dove. Thanks for joining. So yeah, so once again, looking out to the future and making those things happen, right? So the one thing, Network Bro just said that he purchased Amazon Alexa. It's cloud-based voice service available in more than 100 million devices from Amazon and third-party device manufacturers. With Alexa, you can build natural voice experience that offer customers a more intuitive way to interact with technology they use every day. They offer tools, collection API, reference solutions, documentations to making it easier to build Alexa. You start by building for voice today by creating Alexa skills, connecting to Alexa's devices, and integrating directly into your products, right? So once again, Alexa, they build APIs so you can actually hook Alexa up, and we'll look at some of it. The big one is Ring. That isn't, so you can have Ring open up the door. So creating Alexa skills, you can reach 100 million Alexa-enabled devices. Skills are like apps for Alexa, enabling customers to perform everyday tasks. Use Alexa Skills Kit to start building skills today. So Alexa Skills is actually like a programming language for APIs, right? And you can use that to build stuff to use to work with Alexa. They got build Alexa devices, build voice forwarding products by integrating Alexa into your device by controlling it with Alexa, using Alexa voice service to create a device with Alexa's built-in controls to your smart devices or both, and build fun Bluetooth connected accessories called Alexa Gadget. Then from your enterprise solution, use Alexa to power your enterprise. With Alexa for Business, you can use voice enable your workplace and application. With Alexa for hospitality, you can delight guests by making it easy to access your services by the voice. Right? But once again, when you hook Alexa to that, right, you're opening up another attack vector to your device or your solution. Right? It's cool, but I always remember is somebody actually created a pitch so high you couldn't hear it, but he was actually controlling his Alexa with these decimals that only Alexa could hear, but the average person couldn't hear, right? So when you add these new features, right, I always remember those are new attack vectors to your app. Right? Some of the features they hooked Alexa to: Spotify, Apple Music, Ring, NPR, ESPN, Food Network. Alexa open up a Headspace. Alexa open up Disney Store, right? So those are all voice activated things, right? Because people trying to get into new features. Once again, cool interface, making it easier to use your product or your application. We talked about this. Amazon about Twitch. I guess they're supposed to be changing their payout model for Twitch. So I guess a lot of people are upset. But yeah, Amazon about Twitch. I think Jeff Bezos obviously wants his hand in a lot of different businesses, and most of them are technology that's going to interconnect. So Twitch may be Amazon's best kept secret. It was acquired in a bidding war in 2014 with Google. It paid $1 billion in cash. It's now leading the live video streaming services for gamers and game viewers. Twitch is a platform for broadcasting, observing, and playing video games while interacting in real time with players, game creators, and audience, such as social media platform, as well as an entertainment venue. Right. So there's YouTube on my Google, then there's Twitch, right? So once again, Amazon, it owns a lot of businesses, right? Part of that Amazon, and we're gonna look at it in those divisions Amazon, took over. Amazon Ring, they bought the Ring doorbell. I forgot what they paid for it, but once again, some add to it. And two is people don't realize this, and kind of one of my pet peeves about Amazon Ring. It's a surveillance tool. People don't realize how much surveillance gets done by Amazon Ring. So why would I say that? Amazon Ring gets really saved on AWS infrastructure on the back end. Most police departments have access to Ring doorbells feeds. A lot of people get discounts on their Ring doorbells to let local authorities look at that feed. Right? So they get so many pictures of people walking up to doors. You walking in front of people's houses, your picture is showing up at police stations. Right? Then, I should have did Amazon recognition. Amazon does have a product called recognition. It looks through videos and it could say this is your face and match it to face of databases for driver's license, right? So once again, Amazon has all the parts, and I think they put them together, and I don't think people realize how they're putting them together. So once again, Amazon Ring video doorbell capture images or movements of anything appearing in the range of the cameras. It's surrounded in its surrounding environment. This includes footage of public streets, places that go beyond private property. Ring video functionality and audio processors can pick up sounds 40 feet away. Ring has a long track record of partnering with police departments in the United States. In the last 2 years, Ring police partnership has almost tripled in numbers, bringing the grand total to over 2,000 partnerships. Amazon's even gave police talking points to promote the technology. Free devices, discount codes to publicize the cameras in its accompanying social network apps and neighborhoods. Essentially, Amazon turned law enforcement into sales departments with promising extensive, intrusive video surveillance of communities. However, it's unclear how much the cameras help in deterring or solving crimes. Ring claims that cameras reduce crimes in neighborhoods, but there's little concrete evidence to support that claim. What's up, Helmet? Glad you can join us. But once again, part of Amazon's empire. And once again, a mass surveillance system. right? So you got all this video of people. And a lot of times police put them in poor areas, right? So you streaming all this stuff in the Amazon back end. Police departments have access to people who's really not under investigation, but their picture is at the police department, right? But so we can debate that later, right? So is that privacy? Is that government overreach? What is that? And once again, I might look that up while we're talking. Amazon has Amazon recognition. It goes through video feeds, pick people out, pick your area out, tell your location. It could follow you through multiple different Ring doorbells, and it could probably put what you got done today, where you were located, and where you were driving, right? Because there's so many Ring doorbells and in businesses and gas stations, right? And partners in business, right? So it could track you through the day depending on where you go. I think the satellite connectivity is the future for internet rather than undersea. Yeah, I believe that too, Helman, because you got to be. It's much easier to for the satellites, and I agree with that 100%. And I think Amazon wants to launch 2,000 satellites in the next 2 years, starting at the end of 2022. So that's going to be interesting. This is one will or may be more susceptible to being cut off, or a few having access to do that. No, that's true. That's true. But once again, so Amazon Ring doorbell have you thinking about it, right? Amazon Sidewalk, I'm not a big fan of, which a lot of people are not really hip to. Amazon Sidewalk is a new network that allows companies, low-power devices to connect more easily to become a default feature of Echo and Ring when it's activated. After announcing the network back in 2019, Amazon recently updated Sidewalk to include the latest smart home devices and now set to evolve to beta testers. Here's what Amazon said. We came up with something that was called Amazon Sidewalk. It's a new low bandwidth network that uses already existing over-the-air 900 megahertz spectrum. We think it'll be great for keeping track of things and keeping things up to date. But first and foremost, it will extend the distance at which you can control your devices, low cost and easy to use. What I think people are missing with this is, right, your devices are communicating in your house, right? Then Amazon devices that can communicate will communicate with the whole neighborhood, right? So if you're on a Ring network, instead of having all your pictures actually go down to the police station, you can use this network, communicate there. Amazon really could be saving your pictures on your back end with this Sidewalk network, and you not even know it, right? Some people been pushing back and like, okay, what are you doing with the Sidewalk network? And two is, can I hack the network and jump from each access point, right? So if when you have an access point, right, you have a network antenna, you can move between those devices, right? So if this is connected, especially through the whole city, can I jump from device to device, right? And use that as jumping points to hack different people in the neighborhood. Do you think Twitter would also go more video in an effort to allow more free speech? This competing with YouTube, or this is censorship is crazy. I think Elon Musk is a more free speech person. I'm a huge free speech advocate. I think because Elon Musk is people believe him to be rogue, especially I'm not talking political, but the Democratic Party believe Elon Musk is rogue. So I think there's going to be a lot of government regulations that's going to come out for Elon Musk, because that is the town square, and I think they're getting nervous about what gets spun up on the town square. As much buying it as a bunch of hype. No, I think he's going to do with it. I think for Elon Musk, the scary part people don't realize is, and once again, before I say what I say, I'm gonna say no disrespect. That means I'm gonna say something, and I do respect Elon Musk. Is Tesla has so much data with moving around, seeing people, figuring out where you're going as a car. Even though that's elite, that's small, right? Facial recognition in there, learning. When you take the data from Twitter, put it with the Tesla data, that's a whole lot. And check out my video. I did the Neuralink where he's putting a chip in your brain, right? That is a lot of personal data that's on Twitter, right? You can actually figure out what to invest in, right? People talk about what they're going to invest in before they invest in it, right? If you get their data, you can start front running people. A lot of people put medical data from college, trying to figure out something new. They put all that data on Twitter. So is he just a custodian of the data, or is he mining the data? Helmet Chili. If I pay $1 billion for something, I'm mining data so I can start front running, right? So, but shout out to him. I get it. So that's just a lot of, and two is a lot of that psychological data, man. A lot of people put their emotions on Twitter if they're sad, and people argue and drag people on Twitter, right? So that's different type of data from a psychological standpoint. He has unfettered access to. Teshika High Fish. Wow, that's what I was going, because their battery plant is in China or Japan. Is in Asia. I'm just gonna say Asia. So yeah, he's always having trouble because Jeff Bezos took a shot at him when he bought Twitter. He asked him, "Is it going to be open to the Asian government since he bought it?" Privacy, data protection, cyber is the new. Oh, facts. We're late because shout out. Who was shout out to Citizen Lou. People don't realize that's why Facebook makes $4 billion a year, right? Because they have access to data. We talked about you are the product. What are you buying? You are the product. So if I need to send out something to black men and black women, Facebook's got that demographic. It could tell pretty much to 95% if you're Republican or Democrat, right? It has that. You go to high-end restaurants, you start getting high-end ads, right? That's how Facebook makes a ton of money. I've never bought anything off of Facebook in my whole life, but they be making, billions of dollars every year. Why is that? Because data privacy. And two is, once again, you putting stuff in Messenger, they controlling WhatsApp, you posting, you're liking, you're commenting, right? So they're taking all that data, right? And they're making it. And I'm going to bring this one thing up about Amazon at the end with their recognition. So Amazon Go, I don't know if a lot of people, before they bought actually Whole Food, they actually was buying grocery stores and having this thing called Amazon Go. Amazon surveillance powered no checkout system. By now, many have heard of Amazon's most audacious attempt to shake up the retail world, the cashless, cashierless Go store. You walk in and grab what you want and walk out. This person got a chance to do it recently, as well as pick the brand of the public. So you can actually go on an Amazon Go store, pick it up. Once again, it's doing surveillance, check you out. When you put some in your bag, it just charges your credit card thing they have on file. I think I got another short video of that. So they just charges your account, right? So once again, some at a higher level. It's super short, under 2 minutes. Are you buying Amazon stock before the 21 split? I probably would be Helmet Chili. My only problem is I'm pretty transparent. I got into a couple real estate deals. I'm kind of tapped out for a minute. I'm overextended. I bought an Airbnb right before the pandemic. It's eating a hole in my pocket. So I got to get a few things handled from my real estate helmet. Then I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do. That's killing me. So let's check out Go.
4 years ago, we started to wonder, what would shopping look like if you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go? What if we could weave the most advanced machine learning, computer vision, and AI into the very fabric of a store, so you never have to wait in line? No lines, no checkouts, no registers. Welcome to Amazon Go. Use the Amazon Go app to enter. Then put away your phone and start shopping. It's really that simple. Take whatever you like
anything you pick up is automatically added to your virtual cart. If you change your mind about that cupcake, just put it back. Our technology will update your virtual cart automatically. So how does it work? We used computer vision, deep learning algorithms, and sensor fusion, much like you'd find in self-driving cars. We call it Just Walk Out technology. Once you've got everything you want, you can just go. When you leave, our Just Walk Out technology adds up your virtual cart and charges your Amazon account. Your receipt is sent straight to the app, and you can keep going. Amazon Go. No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
So you just saw that, right? It's gonna just using deep learning, artificial intelligence, facial recognition. You know, so people think they're gonna be doing cashless checkout. You're not gonna be able to do that in the future. You're just gonna take it and go, like you just said, right? So that's once again that's the future, right? And that's one of Jeff Bezos putting all that technology together, right? And kind of pushing out, cashless, checkout. What's up before the billion? shout out to you. So for me that was interesting because, like you said, it was machine learning, a little artificial intelligence. They're checking you where you put it and where you place it back, right? So that's all that technology together. So in the future, there will be no cashiers in the next, from big companies, I probably say in the next 10 years, right? Every time I go to Walmart, which I never do very often, it's more self-checkouts, right? Less check, cashiers. With that, you're not going to even need it, right? You're just going to take it and take it, and it's going to automatically check out. So once again, we're just going over some of Jeff Bezos' empire. I don't think a lot of people really understood, how much my man was doing. So looked at Alexa a little bit, talked about Whole Foods, talked about Twitch. We talked about he bought Twitter back in 2008. So it's going to be interesting when Elon Musk buys it, right? Workday. And once again, I was confused. He started Stack Overflow, right? So we go to the top. I think they had him as the third richest person on Forbes, right? Elon Musk won, Bernard Arnault family in France, then my man, Jeff Bezos. So it'll be interesting after the Twitter bid, how much that's going to bump him up, right, into his I feel you on real estate. I feel you on real estate. I'm in the stock market right now. It's a crap show. I'm in for a long time. Yeah, I do both, to be honest, Helmet. I own, especially my 401k. I own the stocks and some mutual funds. I just, like I said, I enjoy real estate. I get into it. Too, hopefully when I get old, I'll have a consistent monthly income and all my real estate will be paid off. And I always joke with my grandson. I told him he can spend it all and throw it up at the club if he wants to. So I'm getting my real estate portfolio up. So, I tell the grandbabies that'll be how they get to college, and I'll chip in on their college. So I'm, like I said, I real estate's first to me, but it's hard to find real estate, especially now at an affordable price. So once I get squeeze out this last deal, then I'll be definitely back in the stocks. I'm a value investor, so I try to get the right value, get the right PE. I usually buy stuff when there's bad news about it. When people get scared, I try to buy in. So I cashed out a lot of my stock actually to get in real estate. I just like the consistency of real estate. Hopefully, it's been a little rough for me the last year, but that's part of the game. The clubs will have all the data on them, so got to pay the tax. Right, you go in there like you're being there, be watching what you tip, right? So, but two is we saw the government. Anything under 600, anything over $600, right? They want to know about it, right? When people Cash App you stuff or PayPal, those numbers are gonna be going to the government, right? I try to put some money in my lawyer's account. They would not let me put cash in my attorney's account. I had to go home and write a check. Why? They want to track money, right? They want to shut down the illegal market game or how you get paid under the table. Pretty soon they want everything to be electronic, right? So they're making it super easy. Zelle, PayPal, Cash App. A lot of people don't know if you do Facebook Messenger, you can move small amount of money. That's what they do in Africa and overseas. They actually use Facebook to move money, right? So that's actually is coming. So let me put the link down there if anybody want to come up. Like I said, I just want to hit Jeff Bezos. I don't think my man be getting enough respect on his name. So AI will be everywhere. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be everywhere. It's slowly getting there. I just don't think a lot of people realize that, especially with your phone that you never put down. And I think it's a lot of machine learning, but I think they're gonna start doing AI in there because I mean, any place you go now, what Google wants you to do. Do you want to rate that place, right? So obviously they tracking where you're going, right? If you go there, oh, do you want to rate this place? How do you like it, right? All that kind of winds up into there. So let's look at this one last thing super quick for Amazon recognition. I should have put that on there. So shout out to my man Engineering Cannabis. So Amazon recognition, once again, it's in police stations with Ring. And what it is automates your image and video analysis with machine learning. So as I get your video, there's things I'm gonna do analysis on, right? So if you see the babysitter, right, content moderation, detect potential unsafe or inappropriate or unwanted content across images and videos, right? So as it looks at the videos, is the person doing something dangerous? What's around the babies, right? Amazon recognition can figure that out. Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't know if it owns it, but I think he bought into it. Yeah, I was surprised when I saw Stack Overflow. Face compare and search determine the similarities of face against another picture, right? So if you're a felon, right, and you walk into a sporting events, recognition says we have the face of all the criminals. So as it scans your face, like on this phone, it puts a box around. It's going through a database to figure out if you're in this database, right? And this one guy, he made a cool thing, and I think I'm gonna post it, and I'm gonna probably reach out to a few people to help me. So when you come up to this guy's house, right, he has his family pictured in this database. So when you come up to his ring, he used recognition to figure out if you're part of his families. Then Amazon Alexa will announce you coming in the door, right? So it figures out who you are. It figures out in the database. Then it announces you at the door, right? So he's using the API of Alexa, the API of recognition, and he put it all together as he has a facial recognition when you're coming up to his house using Ring doorbell, right? So I thought that was a cool project, and he posted all the code out there. So like, I might try that. So actually, on the other part of facial, we call this facial detection and analysis. All right, it's gonna say if you're a female, 100%. If your eyes are open, it tells if you're smiling, if you're happy, and if you're smiling, 100%. So now, when you're playing a game or looking at something, or I give you a project, right? I got facial recognition saying, okay, are they happy, they're sad, or they're mad, right? So that's part of Amazon recognition. And two, it labels stuff of the objects that are in your video, right? Are you a person? Are you on a mountain bike? Are you outdoors, right? And it gives a percentage of what level it thinks it's at, right? So now, once again, is that intrusion or is that helping? Right? It can tell you custom labels because a lot of times when you look on people's shirt, they want to blur them out because they don't want you advertising for people. Right? Text detection. Screwed and distorted text for images and street signs and social media posts. So it could read the number of your jogging. It could read what street sign you're on. It could read your product package if it can get close enough to that. Right. So it can tell if that's a celebrity. Video segment detection. Detect if this black frame starting credits, and streaming videos of event detection. This person's delivering a package, a pet, or people in real time. Right. So use cases detect inappropriate content, verify your identity online, streamline media, send connected home smart alerts. Right. So once again, part of the Amazon, I call it the empire. I'm not gonna hate on him. The visions of what he got on there. So there's just a few things I just wanted to hit and kind of put those together. I have no idea. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I think a lot of people will be going to sport events, etc. Via video, VR. I think part of the metaverse. I think that's going to be one of the first things is sporting events, letting you be on the floor, letting you interact with people. The way you can also capture folks logged in physical and no real escape. Right. True, and I think as you start working more remotely from home, like you said, I think they're gonna have cameras on it. Are you working? Are you upset? Right, it's gonna start doing. And two, when you're in a metaverse and you doing things like sporting events, or you're in certain rooms, or they trying certain things out, like we said, they're gonna look at it. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you emotional? Right, like we talked about, data's gold. That's even more data. Right, so all that's gonna get rolled into your data points, right? Are you happy? Are you sad? Where you at? What's your location? With your VR, I think you're going to have on a suit. It's going to take your heart rate, your breath, the inflection of your eyes. Once again, if you're smiling, if you're not, all those are data points to get paid on. The way you can also have logged in and physically, there's no, yeah. The two is, I think, when you start talking about law enforcement and tracking people and figuring them out, right? That's all part of there. Makes you wonder what's the end game. Is there a similar project on the moon or mapping? I think for us, the end game is, and I think true is, I think they're trying to figure it out. I think the end game is like you said, I think it's going to be virtual reality. I think that's going to be the new gaming experience. I think they're already doing it. The big tech companies control everything, and all those are on data points, right? Those companies are bigger than some countries now, as far as GDP, right? You're talking about Amazon, Apple, IBM, Oracle, all those big giants, especially the FANGs, those GDPs are bigger than countries, right? So the question is, those are ran by just ordinary people. Like you said, what is the end game, right? We know the government has issues, the government have problems, but their thing hopefully is, help the United States be a better country. But when you're a private citizen, you're trying to take over the United States, you're trying to take over the world, you're trying to take over a certain product. What is it? The sad thing about it, though, is we give those data points away for free. We don't charge them. We don't get paid for them, right? We log on Twitter and tweet away. We log on Facebook and post away, right? We log on all those sites, right? But when you don't pay, you are the product, right? So that's consistently so. But it's interesting then I think Helmet just hit it. When you talk about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, I put Larry Ellis in there, Bill Gates, he's in Africa giving kids vitamin D for eyes, right? So what are they controlling? What are they doing with their money? And can they become a rogue state? Right? Is Elon Musk big enough to become a rogue state? Is Jeff Bezos big enough to become a rogue state? Right? Because I said on a past video, shout out to Elon, is Ukraine didn't ask the United States, the Ukraine didn't ask Congress, the Ukraine didn't ask President. They went to Elon Musk and said, could they use Starlink because Russia, blew up their infrastructure. So the question is, what if Elon said no? Right? So what does that mean? Right? We give those data with Tim. Facts. So so I always just talk about that, and I'll probably do more stuff like this as far as get everybody to come up here and from kind of think tank perspective, shout out to Engineering Cannabis. When you have Tesla driving, right, and a person leaps out in front of Tesla and it's 10 feet away, Tesla car knows it needs 20 feet to stop. So is it going to hit the person because it knows it needs 10 feet? Is it going to swerve into the next lane? Right? Is a car coming? Right? So what that led up to is Tesla going to put a value on your life? Right? If you jump out and you're 10 feet, right? I'm driving the car. I should be number one priority, but it might swerve, right? So it might swerve into a oncoming truck because it says, okay, the person's 10 feet away, they're definitely going to die. If I swerve in this lane, the truck's got something. So PBO's got 60% chance of living, right? The Engineering Cannabis brought up, what if Tesla with facial recognition looked at that person and said he had a felony, right? So is it not going to swerve, right? Can we put a value on that? That person's a felony, so their life is half of what a normal person is, right? Those are the things we have to put limits on and have the company program, right? Those are our programming things you got to put in there. To swerve or not to swerve in front of a truck, to not to swerve, right? All those are if things that you got to put in the code, right? Or in machine learning, right? If I swerve, you got a 60% chance of living, right? Versus 0. Should the car swerve, right? The question is my car. My car shouldn't swerve, right? But no, those are some of the things from a technology standpoint. We just talked about artificial intelligence, facial recognition, right? We looked at Amazon recognition where it was, okay, you're male, female. How old are you? Are we putting in age? Are you smiling or not, right? Am I quick enough to say, okay, that's PBO. This is his digital residency, or Japan. This is his good citizenship rate, right? So should I put that in perspective as I'm driving because I got facial recognition, right? So those are some of the big thinking points, right? We need to think about from a country and even a planet standpoint, right? Because that stuff is going to be all over the planet, right? So what is there? National, organization that helps people with machine learning, right? We know 30% of facial recognition was off of people of color, right? Because they didn't test them, right? So we testing them, we getting the biases out the system, right? But so what organizations are in charge of the biases of machine learning and artificial intelligence, right? Or do we care? I guess that's the question. Maybe I'm the only one care, right? So do we care about that? Right. So those are some of the things, we're going to talk about as we learn AWS, right? As we learn Azure, as we learn architecture and machine learning and artificial intelligence and biases on networks, right? So the power of concentration could be a hyper stage in a minute. No, that is true. That is true. Power of concentration. No, that's true. And 2 is echo chambers, right? That's the same thing with machine learning, right? If everybody you roll with is in machine learning and they believe the same thing and they're testing the same thing, right? That's power concentration. That's why they didn't put people of color in there. There was none in MIT and all that stuff, right? They just forgot, right? This is just power concentration and feedback, right? So if everybody is an echo chamber, right? Then when you do development or do certain things in computer, right? That echo chamber is just going to be built-in bias, right? Because you have an echo chamber and everybody agree with you, right? It's different when you get, opposing forces, right? Where iron sharpens iron, right? So you won't get that that hyper stage, or I call it echo chamber, where everybody agrees, right? So that's all I got today. I don't know why Bezos, I guess I kept hearing Musk and I've done 2 or 3 or 4 videos on Elon Musk. I was like, let me throw Bezos on there. They're not putting respect on his name. So I just want to put, just showed you some of the things he was bought into or just straight out owned, or all the things right there, stuff he was buying in for big money, Whole Foods for, I'm just going to round it out to $14 billion. Then we looked at Amazon Robots, which was bought by Kiva right? So I think all that's going to get into robotics, cashiering. Once again, I believe machine learning, robotics, and AI in the next 20 years is going to take about 30 million jobs, right? So I think it's it. All facts. Speaking there, we need more people. Oh, for sure. And we keep saying 6 or 7%. I just don't see it. Maybe because I'm in the Midwest and I'm in Indiana. I just don't see 6 or 7% of people, black people, people of color in IT. I appreciate that, Helmet. So two is, and I was talking in the we think it's what, less than 1% that's in AI, machine learning, and robotics. We think it's less than 1%. So we definitely got to get people in there. My person who stayed quiet. I was the manager. Like, yeah, he's quiet. He is kind of laid back. Elon Musk is a little more fashion. Get it out. Like, again, let me put that where he's the third. Yeah, put some respect on him. Give him the third person on the real-time billionaires. He only got 150 billion. So that's all I got for you. Like I said, we'll do some more stuff like this. Like I said, I like to do a little deep thinking every now and then, and we'll take a little further when we talk about machine learning, artificial intelligence in today's world. What jobs is going to get taken out, right? And what's going to be the jobs of the future, and what's going to be the pay of the future. I think we always talk about future jobs. We know they're going to pay well, but what jobs are going to disappear, where they're going to disappear, and who's going to control that industry, right? I think folks add to. I think you're right. I never thought about that, man. I never thought about that. I think they were saying 6% of black people actually held, man. I need to go look at that number again. I was debating with a few people. So I think the 6% was just black people. Because we know Indians, they kind of dominate the ITs, but I need to go check on that. Send me 1% of that stock portfolio. Yeah, we might do it from that. Yeah, so we'll talk about in the future, like I said, what's going to be gone. We know cashiers are gone, right? So artificial intelligence. A lot of people don't realize when you talk about Lyft and Uber, 70% of your ride is the driver. So once it gets smooth where you can actually take an Uber instead of $20 ride, your ride will be $2. So if you can go everywhere you want it for a whole day for $4, $5, would you own a car? Would you drive a car? Is that going to be the end of mass transportation as we know it, right? Especially from like a state perspective, right? If I could go on a 300-mile drive and it's going to cost me $30, right? And renting a car is going to be, $300 for the weekend. I could do it all for $60 a week. I don't really like to drive, right? So two is the car company. Is the car company's going to be reduced because basically everybody's just going to be car sharing, right? So instead of everybody having a car, you probably need one per 50 people. I'm old. I don't go anywhere once I get home. So, right. So is the car company's going to disappear, right? So as we look into that, we're going to kind of drill down into that. So what do we think is going to disappear? Two is in insurance. They said insurance was going to get cut in by, I read, 60% because a car is very precise about what it's going to do, right? It's not going to be like PBO. I'm sad. I'm going to be driving 90, bumping Jay-Z, from the 1990s. Just me and my girlfriend, right? It's not, a car is going to do that. It's not going to speed, right? So they believe insurance rates going to just plummet. Why? Because most of your insurance is done because a person made a mistake, right? Those cars don't make a lot of mistakes, right? So they believe the insurance rates are going to just plummet once we get autonomous cars to a certain level, right? And two is, so are we saying insurance rates, companies are going to be done, right? So these are things we're going to talk about in the future. Look at the, let's see. One thing you said out there is our private companies. I think there should be some kind of like, yeah, I agree with that. I think they are going to get some kind of regulation. You have to. Man. It's an interesting maximum profits, not public good per se. Oh no, facts. And I think that's where we got to get that government regulations right. A lot of y'all don't remember the Pinto car. If you Google Pinto car, it was in the 1980s. Small, cheap car. They figured out that if you hit it directly in the back, it was going to blow up. So the car company calculated how many people was going to die. 10 people were going to die. 100 people were going to get burned. So it's going to cost us $300 million, but we were going to make $1 billion. They made the car. I might do a segment on that. A lot of y'all too young. If y'all Google Pinto, they knew that car was going to kill so many people. But like Hillman said, they didn't give a shit. They was maximum profit. And they had a lot of R&D and they had a lot of money in them. So they just made the car, right? So those are some things, we'll talk about as we, I call this the social part, right? Big thinking, big tickets, things that's going to affect socially what's going to happen, right? I think we're going to be ready player one, right? So I'm going to do my dissertation where I'm going to prove we're going to be ready player one in the next 40 years, right? So what is that going to look like? I think of it 40. I'll Pinto. So, but if you look at it, right, we'll talk about a lot of people are not hip to it. How the company made the car and they knew it was going to hurt so many people. And they didn't give a shit, right? They were about maximizing profits, right? And I got an MBA, and that's the first thing they tell you, put in your SAS program for statistical analysis. How do you maximize profits, right? Is that less people, more of this, less of that, shrink your warehouse, right? Just-in-time inventory. That's the things in the 90s they were, teaching about your MBA. But now I think your MBA now should be, like him, it's more technology, right? How can you use technology? How can you speed up technology? How can you use technology to reduce your flow of goods and services, right? What's your supply chain, right? People don't realize Apple's a master supply chain, right? They got stuff made in Yugoslavia, stuff made in India, put your parts together for, you paying somebody $5 a day, total cost $140, get it back to the United States, put it on the boat, Christmas, $900 iPhone, right? So the logistics at its best, right? So bring back to what you said about machines make these decisions. Yeah, I mean, somebody's gonna have to make that decision, right? And have a great weekend ahead. Then we have to get live today. I appreciate that. But yeah, now we get back to that because you got to think when artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? It teaches the machine what to do, but overall, you got to make that programming, put it in a framework that you respect and that you validated, right? So the machine can say, do this, but your program can say, nah, we ain't doing that machine learning. That's not right for humanity, right? So I think those are the things we need to put in place and, start talking about it, getting those algorithms on the blockchain. Shout out to Engineering Cannabis. He brought that up. So I'm out, man. I'm about to relax a little bit. Professor Black Ops got to lose some damn weight, so I'm about to go on a walk. It's warm out here. Everybody have a great weekend, and Monday's here. Let's have a great week. Let's go out there and get it. Everybody's talking about the bag, but let's get the skills to get the bag. Once again, I'm studying for my AWS certification. So I passed the SMILE on the practitioner. So I passed that one. So now I'm studying for the associate architect, going for the big dog. So I want to piece everybody out. Like I said, get those skills. There's a lot of great people out there to go check out. Shout out to For the Billions, Black Heights, Checks Will Chatter. There's so many people out there. My brother in their network, bruh. I'm always on here giving him the stig of the day, working on my networking. A lot of people don't realize, this is the last thing I'm going to say. We need to talk about it is Amazon has their own dark fiber and networking ran underground or stuff they bought for telecoms for the whole United States and the planet. So a lot of times when you're doing stuff on Amazon, you're actually using their telecommunication network that they're using for their infrastructure. Right? When I replicate a S3 bucket from the East Coast to the West Coast, I can click acceleration. That's going to go on their dark fiber that they a bot from other companies, right? It's not gonna hit the internet, right? It's gonna be lightning quick, right? So I don't think a lot of people realize Amazon has a global network that they control a big part of it. So once again, I'm out. I can pontificate. I used to be a professor. Yeah. Oh yeah, shout out to Struggle Security. I was on him. Yeah, Gabe, I got to get him on there. There's so many people out here. Yeah, I don't want to leave. I don't want to purposely leave anybody out. But Struggle Security is definitely high on my list, man. Me and Gabe supposed to do a red team, blue team. I'm gonna design a network, and he's gonna walk through a paper attack, how to attack it. Then we might do it in real life. So I'm gonna design some on Amazon, and we're gonna walk through with him and talk about the side point, the weak point, how he would jump on my Active Directory and light me up. So, but no, shout out to him. So, but yeah, there's so many people. I won't leave anybody out. Once again, I'm out. Have a great Sunday and have a great weekend.